And I'm just going to be reading a statement. This is in regards to the presentation a few weeks ago by HCEA regarding special education. This is on behalf of the board. The Board of Education recognizes the longstanding workload and staffing shortages in special education, which have been significantly exacerbated by the pandemic. Moreover, the board is appreciative of HCEA's continued efforts to not only bring these challenges to the forefront of discussion, but to offer potential solutions. However, during a November board meeting, testimony was presented that was potentially triggering graphic images, and it concerned the community and it concerns us. While the intent of this presentation was surely to shine a light on critically understaffed department, the suggestion or the recommendations have been interpreted by many in the community that as students with disabilities are violent or need to be removed from the classrooms to increase virtual learning. This position would clearly be unacceptable and inappropriate. As a board dedicated to equity, we will not consider any recommendations that push marginalized students further into the margins. As we are sure you are aware, negative behaviors are a manifestation of students not having their needs met. This is not the fault of the child. Our priority must be to address the root cause and provide special educators and support staff with the resources and training necessary to meet the needs of students with disabilities. The board will continue to advocate for increased funding with our county partners and look to more effectively engage community resources. Additionally, the board agrees that HCPSS must explore ways to incentivize special education positions and examine staffing models to maximize certified positions. We recognize that when we address the needs of our most vulnerable population, it benefits everyone, educators, support staff, and all students. Thank you.
It was recently suggested during a report to the Board of Education that some students receiving special education services should be removed from classrooms in an effort to protect staff from the risk of physical injury. Many families have reached out to me, fearful that their child will be removed from the classroom. I want to make this clear. I will not remove students receiving special education services from their classroom or school, or reduce or eliminate special education services. We have no intention of modifying current in-person schedules for students with disabilities, and we have no tolerance for denying them access to instructional opportunities afforded to every student. Any shift in the schedule for a student with an individualized education program, better known as an IEP, is always driven by an IEP team decision, which includes the parents, guardians of that child. We have phenomenal special education staff in our school system, including special educators, related service providers, and support teachers within our buildings who tend to the needs of our students every day. They are joined by the many general education teachers, paraprofessionals, support staff, school psychologists, and others in their schools who are committed to ensuring every child is cared for and receiving quality instruction. Staff from the central office support school-based teams with training and advocacy, and even take time out of their schedules to provide direct support to students when needed. Additionally, Howard County parents of students receiving early interventions and special education services are extraordinary advocates for their children and partners in their education, and we depend on their collaboration to ensure student success. It is essential that our educators are provided the tools needed, including training, protective equipment, and support to be successful. We firmly believe that the most effective solution is not to remove students from the classroom, but instead to work towards ensuring sufficient staffing and resources are in place to provide a safe and inclusive instructional environment for all students and staff. Our strategic call to action, Learning and Leading with Equity, is about removing barriers, not removing students. Our students are why we are here, and we will continue to provide services while also identifying and implementing ways to care for our staff. Our focus has been and will continue to be advocating for the critical resources for this and other underserved populations in our school student bodies. We will continue to invite conversation with any stakeholder who is interested in collaborating with us towards reasonable solutions that enhance special education services while supporting staff. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our amazing special educators and families of students receiving early intervention and special educations for your love, care, compassion, and advocacy.